Hey everybody, welcome to Around the Twist, episode 305. It's September 7th, 2017, and I'm a day late because it's been a mess around here. So, jumping right in, let me explain. So I've been gone for 2 weeks. I had intended to record last week. However, my friend Sarah flew in to help us with some time that our nanny needed to take off. So she flew in last Wednesday and helped us with the days that we needed coverage for childcare for the kids. Took the kids to their first day of preschool. That happened on Tuesday because the hubby was sleeping and I was at work. And then I intended to record yesterday, but had to get Sarah back to the airport so she could fly back to Chicago to help her sister who just had a baby not that long ago as well. So here it is. It's Thursday, not my usual Wednesday. I'm thrown off a little because this morning was, make sure I was up and dressed and respectable looking enough, which I'm kind of failing at, respectable looking enough to pass muster at preschool drop-off, and ran errands with hubby, got him a haircut, did groceries, ran home, made the kids speed eat their lunch because we had to get them back to, we had like half an hour to get them to eat, which Tara is like pokey little puppy eating, and raced them back across town to get them to the doctor for their beginning of the school year checkups. There were meltdowns along the way. It wasn't pretty. Hubby and I found a new place to have breakfast that was really delicious up in Fort Collins, a place called The Breakfast Club. Highly recommend it, like good home cooking, delicious. They're only open from like 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., so they only do breakfast and lunch, but very good food. Nice people, fast service. Highly recommended if you're in the Front Range area. So it's called The Breakfast Club, and it's in Fort Collins in Colorado. But that was like the one good bit of the morning. So various meltdowns from the children along the way. They are down for naps. I think hubby was laying down to maybe take a nap. So you get me. Finally. Oh, I feel like I've been slacking for you guys, but here I am. So first thing, what I have on my needles. I have only worked on one thing, but that one thing has gotten a lot of love while Sarah has been here. It is, hang on, let me get over to the page I need to be on because, of course, once again, I didn't write down show notes. So we're winging it. Sarah's Opal socks. These are, I don't have a pattern for them. They're just my basic 72 stitch stockinette vanilla socks with a heel flap this time. Knit on a US 1, a 2.25 millimeter needle, and it is the yarn I'm using. Thank you everyone for the help identifying it. Is Opal. Focus, kind of. There we go. It is the Masterpiece Collection, which is years discontinued. This is Deep Stash. There's the back of the label for anyone who's interested. And this is colorway number 3, and it is blues. Blue, like royal blue, turquoise, and black. And when Sarah saw the first sock, when I pulled it out to have her try it on before I started the toe to make sure I wasn't like screwing it up, she did a little happy dance and clapped her hands. I didn't know it was going to be stripes. I'm like, most Opal is, but okay. So this is how they came out. Looks better back here. So first one, there's a black stripe. There is the, oh, there we go, the royal blue, and then kind of a turquoise stripe. And I got it so it almost matches up for the black in the front, but not quite. I have one little row of aqua. It's not going to quite come out the same for the second one. So I started the second sock and immediately asked Sarah, how OCD are you? If your socks don't, like if the stripes are offset, are you never going to wear these socks? Because I can make them match, or close to matching as I can get. And she's like, whatever. We were both kind of tired, watching movies, drinking some wine. How it is when friends get together, eating a lot of Oreos and nachos, that kind of thing. So the second sock does not start with the aqua at the top. It starts with the royal blue. Start in like roughly the same place in the stripe. So we'll see how it comes out when I get further down. And I'm just about done with the blue stripe and ready to start the aqua stripe. So comparison-wise, pretty much get through the aqua stripe, and then when I get to the black, I'll start the heel flap. So almost done with the cuff on the second sock. Just kind of flying through it. So that's what I've been knitting on, pretty much exclusively. I haven't done any more on the stained glass blanket. That was kind of a one-off, one-day project, and I haven't touched it since because it's just, I don't feel like working on that today, or I have too much other stuff to do. The other thing that we did, okay, jumping right into various and sundry. Well, I'm just going to knit away on this while we talk. While Sarah was here, the other thing I took advantage of was having a second person to do my freezer cooking. I had found the website that I use, onceamonthmeals.com, had just released their fall Instant Pot menu, which had, I believe it was 10 recipes, and I can pull them up and tell you what they are. 10 recipes, so you double it, so it gave me 20 meals, and with Sarah's help, literally, we came home from picking her up at the airport. She's exhausted. She's been up since 3:30 in the morning Central Time, so that's, or no, 4:30 in the morning Central Time, so that was 3:30 in the morning Mountain Time where we are. And she hadn't gone to bed until after midnight Central Time, so she got maybe like 3.5 hours of sleep thanks to her sister's newborn. While staying up late and then her sister's newborn and having to be up for her early morning flight. She helped me wrangle the kids, get them down to bed. Hubby was awake at that point, so we left well, I think he was still napping, but the kids were napping too. Everyone was home. And we took off. We spent an hour at the grocery store, got everything that we needed, turned around, came home, and I think the next day I had to work. Next 2 days I had to work. So Saturday morning we got up, maybe we prepped everything the night before. I think we prepped everything that afternoon too, like chopped onions, and didn't brown the hamburger until Saturday morning. And Saturday we spent about total of 4.5 hours, and we got all 20 recipes, or all 20 dishes done. So 10 recipes, 20 meals finished in 4.5 hours with 2 people working. It was awesome. My freezer is restocked. We've already had one of the meals, a creamy Italian chicken that was really good and gave us tons of leftovers. So those of you that don't know, freezer cooking, Once a Month Meals is one of many freezer cooking websites, but I happen to love this one because you set your menu, or you use their set menu. Tell them how many servings you want to make. I do 4 servings because it's mainly just Eric and I, and the kids are eating like little bits of stuff. It gives you your shopping list. It gives you your prep instructions, what you have to chop, dice, mince, brown, crumble, whatever. It gives you all that. So everything is prepped, ready to go before you actually sit down and do your cooking. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So you can just start throwing stuff into bags, or mixing stuff together and get it in the bags, get it in the bowls, get it in the freezer, and you're done. This one also happened to be an easy assembly menu. So there was no, aside from like browning hamburger, that kind of thing, everything was just throw it in the bags, done. Love those kind of meals. It's less work on cooking day, which is how we were able to knock out 10 recipes, 20 meals in 4.5 hours. And then it gives the recipe cards. If you want, you can print labels for the things. I just label it with the name of it because I keep the recipes in a big 3-inch binder and go through them that way. So the recipes that I did change one. Which one did I think there was like a salmon soup. There was some soup that didn't really sound appealing. No, excuse me. It was a chicken and pineapple soup. So kind of a Hawaiian-ish like theme. I'm not sure exactly what was in it. Hubby heard pineapple and went, nope. He does not like cooked pineapple. Farewell Hawaiian pizza for the rest of my life. I love Hawaiian pizza. Oh, it's fine. Oh, I've gotten over it. So I substitute that out for an Instant Pot recipe that we really love, the Mama Rita's meatballs. So what we ended up making, the 10 recipes, calico beans, which is very similar to what my mom calls crock pot beans that we've made for years. So I tweaked the very simple calico beans recipe and turned it more into my mom's crock-pot beans recipe. That's kind of like a homemade barbecue sauce with 3 different kinds of beans, ground beef, bacon, and little smoky sausages, like the little breakfast sausages that you can get, and tossed all that together. Turned that in, so it's a hybrid of what was on the website and my mom's recipe. Cashew pork, chipotle pork roast, creamy Italian chicken. That's the one we've had. It's delicious. And also like 5 ingredients. So it's really simple. Creamy thyme chicken, a lasagna soup recipe, the Mama-Rita's meatballs, which is going to be spaghetti and meatballs for us, cheesesteak sloppy joes, yum, and southwestern casserole, and then a sweet and spicy pork roast. So there was a lot of pork in this, but it was really good. Everything smelled amazing. Everything looked good as we were putting it together. So we're really excited to try these, and I'm excited to have my freezer restocked because the shelves were getting really bare. I was down to like 2 meals left, and that was it. So Sarah helped me a lot with that. And yeah, we had a good time. She helped a lot with the kids, and they loved having Auntie Sarah here, so that was fun. And yeah, that's what the last week has been, and it's just been generalized craziness. I'm really, really going to try to get back to recording every week, but like I always say, no promises on stuff. It's just life. You guys know how life is. It is what it is, and if I have to be an every other week recorder, awesome. But I'd rather get back to every week because I liked when I was doing that. So that just means I have to motivate myself to get my butt down here to record. So yeah. So let's go back, since we're in various and sundry, and since I only have the one thing that I'm knitting on, we're going to do at least one question, maybe 2, out of the Any Questions thread. Let's go back to ACP's question that I skipped over a few weeks ago. She said, "Hey Karen, we all have ideas on what makes a good pattern. Clearly and accurately listed requirements, gauge information, schematics with measurements and or stitch counts, photos, numbered rows, stitch counts, clear charts and definitions of symbols and terms, references to unusual techniques, multiple sizes, etc. But what makes a good design? How flexible it is? Is it limited to yarn or color choice? How recognizable is it in each incarnation?" So a good design, oops, sorry, knocked over my water bottle. A good design, for me, obviously, ACP, you did a great job listing all the requirements of a good pattern. For me, a good design is something that is appealing. And everything's taste. Or personal preferences. There's certain things that I look at and I'm like, there is no way on God's green earth I am ever going to knit that. It doesn't appeal to me. It doesn't look like fun. Nope. Not gonna happen. Kind of how I feel about brioche right now. It doesn't have the appeal to me. So I see brioche in a pattern and I'm just like, eh. But other people love it, and they see brioche and they're like, oh, that's gonna be an awesome design. I want to do that. So what jumps out at me when I'm looking at designs? Like pictures are a big thing, because knitting is, while it's very much a textural and a tactile thing, unfortunately we can't do that over the internet. So a big thing is how it's presented to me. If it's presented in an appealing way and I can see myself wearing it, or see someone around me wearing it, then I will throw myself into it. Or if I can see the color opportunities, like doing the Color Affection shawl by Vera Valimaki. Obviously I've done several of those, and the fact that you could do it in so many different colors and so many different ways was really what appealed to me, because everyone, you could put them all side by side and suddenly go, oh, they're all the same thing, but they all looked totally different, and I love that. You could go for high contrast, you could go for tonals, anything. So flexibility, I mean, yeah, flexibility for color. A lot of new knitters, I know I was this way when I started, I couldn't visualize a pattern in anything but what it was knit in. Like it never occurred to me if the sock pattern called for Lorna's Laces shepherd sock, that's what I needed to get it in. No, there were no substitutions, no extensions, no refunds, no nothing. It had to be that. Now, 17 plus years of knitting experience under my belt, I can go, yeah, cool. So I didn't, kind of like with, Tara's sweater that I'm still working on. That needs to get done. We're getting into fall here. It was really chilly this morning. The Disappointing Stripes, which is the Playful Stripes cardigan by Alana Dakos, that could have really thrown me for a loop if I had been a newer knitter. The fact that I didn't realize it was supposed to be sport weight, and if I had just freaked out and when I got worsted instead of sport, instead I just rolled with it, and it's okay, I have to do a little math. All right, someone check my numbers for me. And that made it fine. So that's one thing that you can go for. I love any design that is like instantly recognizable, no matter the color, no matter the yarn that you do it in. If you can see someone walking across the Rhinebeck Fairgrounds among that sea and mass of people, and you see something, go, that's a Clapetee. I know that. To me, that's a good design. When people can recognize it, spot it in a crowd, or even if you're able to go up to someone and go, oh my gosh, is that the hero sweater? And they go, well, yes, it is. To me, that makes a good design when it stands out and is instantly recognizable. So, ACP, I hope that answers your question. To me, I like, while I like simple stuff right now, because that's where my life is, I look in envy at Thea Coleman with all of her Baby Cocktails designs, and someday, I have the yarn for it. Someday I'm gonna knit a Dark and Stormy because it's so beautiful and I want to knit it. Any of the books out of the Rhinebeck Sweater book, I think, are instant classics. Most people can look at them and go, oh, that's a Beekman Tavern, or that's I'm drawing blanks on the names right now. I remember Beekman's Tavern one. Something that you can pick out, or if you see it, have someone go, oh, wait, is that by so-and-so? That's even better if you can recognize it by the designer name, in my opinion. But different opinions for different folks, right? Okay. So hopefully that answers your question, ACP. We're going to do one more, because I feel bad that I've left you guys hanging for so many weeks. Gypsy Knit, Kate. She said, hey Karen, I'm pregnant with my first child and was wondering which knit items you found most useful for your kiddos. I'm working on hats and booties, but what other type of baby knits would you recommend? I don't think knitting a baby blanket is in my future. I can barely finish a blanket for myself, but I could probably finish some smaller items before this winter. Thanks. So I've kind of covered this already several episodes back, a few months back, but the things I found most useful. Hats, yes, because the twins were born in late fall, early winter, so, and they were technically preemies, so I kept them in hats even inside at home for the first few weeks of their lives. I liked blankets, honestly, like the smaller blankets, even if you can't knit a blanket necessarily, especially going into winter, like do a small, like double layer of fleece that you tie the fringe on. Nice, easy, quick project, and it works, and you don't feel bad if they spit up on it, which they will spit up on it. Whatever you're doing, make sure it is washable, machine washable right now, and in your future. Your life for several years will not constitute hand washing anything. So make sure if you're knitting with wool, make sure you're knitting with superwash. I have saved all of the sweaters and other things that people have knit for us for the twins, and those are the only baby things I'm hanging on to because those are heirlooms. And I'm very proud to keep those things. I kept the little, what is it? The Elizabeth Zimmerman, is it the Baby Surprise jacket? I haven't actually knit one, but I kept those that my good friend Deb Barnhill Knit for the Twins, and they actually wore those several times. Anything that is easy to get on and off. So not necessarily something with buttons, or do it like the baby surprise jacket. You can do like 2 buttons right at the top. They don't have to close the whole way down because they got the big little bellies that get even bigger when you feed them. So they have their little milk tummies that stick out, which is adorable in newborns and small children. But anything easy that you don't have to finagle your child in and out of, anything you are not going to be heartbroken if they spit up or puke up on, or freak out about. Small knitted dishcloths, even in a softer cotton yarn that you can use for their bath time or to be used as spit rags. Keep a spit rag around all the time because it never fails. When you don't have one, they will throw up on you. It's also useful when they get to the drooling age to tuck under their chin so their onesie isn't completely wet down their front. There's another layer there. Little bibs along that same vein. You can do little knit bibs for them for that spit up factor as well. So hopefully that helps. I didn't do a whole lot of knitting for the twins either. Most of our knitted things came in the form of gifts. Sorry, I need to get a drink here. So whatever you get done, awesome. Your child will appreciate it because they don't have any other choice. You're their parent and they love you unconditionally when they're that age. So, Gypsy Knit, I hope that helps. Don't feel the mama guilt at all if you don't get knitting done. I did, and then I realized, oh wait, you are growing a whole human. I mean, I grew 2, but I could barely stay awake to knit like 1 row on something. So don't have any guilt about trying to finish stuff for your kid or freak out while you're in the hospital. I have to finish this before they go home. No, you don't. They will survive. All that matters is that they are loved. Okay? So I wouldn't keep going with the booties because they don't keep them on. They just don't. No matter, oh, stay put booties. No, they don't. No, they don't. They look cute for pictures, and that's about it. And they grow so quick that by the time you finish them, they wear them once, and then you go to put them on, and they're folding their little feet in half because they're too small. I liked, like I said, hats are always good. If you want to knit like the little pocket mitt things to put over their hands, but again, they'll get them off. They'll get them off. So sweaters that are easy to put on and off that have large head openings, and Mama, I am giving you permission. If that onesie is done, cut it off. You don't need to save it. And the other tip is those little cute little envelope necklines, they make it so if it is poo, you don't have to bring it up and over their head. You peel it down over their shoulders. No one told me that until the twins were like 7 months old. So I like to pass that tip along. So to as many people as I can. Hopefully that helps. Best of luck for you and your little one in the future, Kate. And yeah, hopefully get some things done, but don't kill yourself over it, okay? Don't sleep deprive yourself or anything trying to get stuff done. Awesome. All right, everyone, I will hopefully, fingers crossed, see you back here next Wednesday, normal time. And until then, happy knitting.